Good afternoon, good evening, good morning when you fine folks are watching this wonderful broadcast here on the ITRL Racing Network. We are back for race number 4 of the ITRL Racing League Premier Series season number 10 for the Ott Family Farms 170 from Portland International Raceway. A brand new track here on iRacing. This track came out in the most recent build. We're now a couple weeks ago when that build happened. It's a 12 turn, 1.97 mile track. And it's going to put on some interesting racing here tonight. We do have a custom built setup from, I believe it was built by Conti's setup shop over there. So check them out. I'm hearing a lot of people say this might be the best road course stuff we've had in the league. The track, on the other hand, some drivers, meh. But it's probably an exciting race. We have 40 laps here tonight. Only have one scheduled caution here tonight, and that'll be after stage number 1, which will end at lap number 10. Stage number 2 will not have a caution. Usually on road courses here in the ITRL Racing League, we typically only have one stage caution. And usually we like to rotate them and whatnot. Tonight it'll be happening after stage 1, so at the completion of lap number 10, the caution will get thrown. And bearing any sort of track blocker, that should be the only caution we have tonight. Cars are on the racetrack right now. They're completing. They're qualifying. They get an extra couple minutes qualifying here tonight. Taking a look at things right now. Some guys who've already completed at least one lap. It's Eric Chabot currently on top of the board with a 1:14.421 with about 5 change left to go in qualifying. Real quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at your points. We do have those. Did update them. It's still Zach Miller out top. He has a 36-point lead over his teammate Kevin West. Won the first 2 races of the season. Did pretty good last week at Texas. Finished second, won both stages. So he's able to build that 36-point lead. Brandon Klusterhuis, he's splitting up those America Racing teammates here. He's currently sitting third in points with 134 points, 55 back of Millet. Dalton Tucker and Kevin Hash will round out your top 5. Daniel Wise, Ray Rittenauer, Storm Patterson, and Eric Drapeau will round out your top 10. Go to your next page here, 11th through 20th. Again, 16th is the cutoff line here. We're approaching that playoff cut line after tonight. I do believe, take a quick look here again at the schedule, because I do have that pinned here. We're on race number 4. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more races after tonight, so we're almost halfway through the regular season. So things are going to start interesting here around the cut line. Right now, it's only separated by 3 points between Matt Cherry and Nathan Shiflett. Again, qualifying is currently happening. These guys are out on the racetrack doing their laps. We'll get the rest of your points here pulled up on your screen now. Some interesting names missing here. We're missing 22nd in points. I do have that as well. 22nd in points. That'll be Brian Rusi. He is not showing up tonight. 27th, that is BJ Hash, and 28th, that is Jeff Pete. So those are 3 guys who are not here tonight who are currently missing from the points. And we'll go to your next page here, and we're missing a lot of guys here. Some guys who've made one start this year. Some guys are actually making his first start. Seth Heyman, the number 29 machine, he'll be out here making his first start on the season tonight here at Portland. Yeah, that is your look at your points. And again, qualifying's going on. There's cars out on the racetrack. Looks like Ray Rittenauer is currently out on the racetrack. He's looking to complete his second lap here. He's currently 3rd fastest on the board. He ran a 1:14.461. Brandon Klusterhuis, he's also still here on the racetrack, currently 4th fastest with a 1:14.476. Kevin West, last week's winner. He's going to actually move down a spot here. He moves down to 8th fastest, 1:14.945. Chris Gale moved up to 2nd quickest. Brandon Klusterhuis moved up to 3rd. We'll see here. Dalton Tucker, he's still on the racetrack. Actually, he's not. He's sitting on end of pit road. Must have gotten an incident point there on his second lap. His lap record will go down as a 1:15.986. And does look like he gotten some sort of incident point on his second lap. And speaking of this, points leader Zach Miller goes to the top of the board, 113.939, and that's at the completion of lap number 1. He's on lap number 2 right now. Trestonot, he completed his qualifying run. Looks like he's just taking advantage here in the next 2 minutes. There's a bunch of guys who have not turned a lap. That was an incident point or whatnot. I did not click the ready to race button, but he qualified with a 1:16.578. Matt Quick also looks like he's doing the same thing, going out there getting a little bit more extra practice here over the next minute and 40 seconds. 1:17.188 is his timer record. Sorry, he does get a lap down, a 1:20.936. Ryan Muniz looks like might have gotten instant point on one or both of his laps. Does not look like he's out there qualifying. Yeah, again, it's just like everyone that's currently on the racetrack is just taking advantage of this extra time here, and Zach Millett puts an even faster lap, goes a half a second quicker than his original qualifying lap, a 1:13.409, and that will look to be the provisional pole speed tonight. As again, it looks like there's just not enough time for these guys to get around from pit exit in turn number 1 all the way down to the start finish line to complete a lap. So that will do it for qualifying here tonight. Again, the distance tonight is 40 laps. Stage 1 will end after lap number 10. Again, that's our only scheduled caution of the night. Again, only in severe circumstances where we have a track blocker anywhere, numerous cars involved, will we potentially see another caution. Very, very rarely do we see cautions on the road courses. I do remember a couple seasons ago, we did have, I think, our first caution on a road course. I believe it was at Watkins Glen in the S's there. It might have been also the first race in the next gen car on a road course, so that might explain why. But again, only one scheduled caution tonight, but stage points will get paid out on our normal stages here. Again, lap 10, lap 20, just no caution for lap 20 as qualifying is wrapping up here now. Looks like we'll have 29 cars attempting this race tonight, and we'll go through your starting lineup as the cars start to formulate the grid here. Again, we talked about Zach Millett. He is your provisional pole sitter tonight. Again, he qualified with a 1:13.409. He'll be on the pole. And starting to his outside, whenever one of these cars want to get on the grid, we'll go ahead and go to the number. Oh, the fence is there. That kind of sucks. That was not part of the plan. But starting on the outside front row will be Eric Trapone, number 97, SFTV Autism Canada machine here. He'll be starting second. Right now, we'll be starting third. Again, Zach Millett, he is your provisional pole sitter in this Conti, Team Conti Sim Performance number 31 Chevy Chevrolet. Right now, he's on the grid. Yeah, he'll be starting third tonight in number 87 machine. Starting fourth tonight in the Cadillac, number 9 will be Christopher Gale. Brandon Kluster is qualified fifth in that number 25 ITRL Toyota Camry. Starting sixth, our first. No, he might have been runner-up in. He was a very good driver when we did the GT3 series. It might be almost 2 years ago now. Number 92 machine, Luke Carmano. He's also in the SFTV colors here tonight. Starting sixth, we'll see the number 48, Brandon Pamitat. He's in the wheeling colors tonight. Carbon 06, 7th will be Pamitat, 8th will be Kevin Hash. He's currently not, he actually just got on the grid tonight. And the number 03, Stripper Glitter Chevy Chevrolet. Last week's winner, Kevin Hash, in the Trailer Park Dude on TikTok, number 01 Chevy. We'll be starting 9th and running out your top 10 in this Team Conti Sim Performance number 88 machine. We'll be doing a while. Starting 11th, new colors for him tonight. Victory Fuel is on this machine. Number 67 Toyota of Caleb Rees. Starting 12th will be Dalton Tucker in his Capital Materials number 21. 13th, making his first start of the season, will be this Oregon State Beavers number 29 machine of Seth Heyman. Starting 14th. And I don't know if he updated and trading paints went up, but this is not the correct number. He'll be the 05 machine of Eric Winkelspeck. Starting 15th tonight will be the Smitty's Supply Inc. Number 15, a Tresnant. 16th will be Matt Quick. It looks like he chose to start from the pits. 17th will be the number 18 machine of Roy Grande in this Premier Racing Setups Factory Team number 18 machine. 18th will be number 59, Melio machine of Jason Roundbush. 19th will be, this is new colors from tonight, the MC Designs. This is Matt Cherry's iRacing paint scheme design company. Look here, Matt Cherry, I do believe, made this paint scheme. Number 35, Sir Ott. Starting 20th, in the Budweiser, number 8, will be Storm Patterson. Starting 21st, but not actually starting 21st, will be Josh Coley. He did not grid. Starting 22nd, in another one of these MC Designs, some paint schemes here, will be Matt Cherry. Starting 23rd will be the 81 Target Machine of Ryan Muniz. 24th in the Matt Klusterhuis, number 24 will be Matt Klusterhuis. Starting 25th in the Bill Submarine Burnt Bacon Racing number 4. This is very reminiscent of what Brad ran, I believe, at New Hampshire last year. This is Nathan Shiflett. Starting 26th tonight. Ooh, is there's contact already being made here underneath pace laps? That's interesting. Will be number 51 machine is Sam Green. 27th will be the legend himself. Ooh, there's actually a lot of drama going on here. Hold the damn phone. We're not going green. Oh, goodness gracious. It'll be number 74 machine of Brian Wortman. Starting 28th will be the number 19 machine of Matthew Carabina. 29th will be the number 12 Peak Menards machine of Zach Kreiser. And I think we need to go back and see, unfortunately, what happened to this number 48 machine here underneath the pace laps. All right, when you go a little bit further back. Oh, it looked like maybe Carbonneau's the first car that happened here. Oh no, Pamitat was warming up the tires, went over the rumble strips. And that's a terrible camera here. We'll see if we can get the chopper cam. We're gonna have to use the chopper cam tonight. And just warming up the tires. I think he might have went over the rumble strips, and that's when the car said nah. Makes contact with the number 92 machine, 0388 and company. Things then just stack up behind it. Storm Patterson also went around there. So we already have action early here. It looks like he's on the inside of Jason there. And I guess he either hit the brakes or gassed it. Oh, he gassed it up over the rumble strips. Oh, that could be some early trouble for him there. So he did make some decent contact there with the tires there on the outside of the wall. So we got the word we're not going green. So I'm going to guess we did get around to complete that initial first pace lap. Now we're going to come and complete the second pace lap here because the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. We are at a safety car here tonight. We'll hopefully see him one more time. Again, 40 laps is the distance. Stage 1's 10 laps. Stage 2 ends at lap number 20. There'll be 20 laps to go to the rest of the race there. Again, only one schedule caution after stage 1 at the end of lap 10. So keep that in mind here. Unless we have a complete and total just disaster unfold. The way we saw on the pace lap site. We could. Honestly, we could. So they're starting to enter the final corners here. To be a very exciting turn 1. We are using the layout with the chicane, so we're using the full track here. So we're going to have to take turn 1 at speed, side by side. So that's going to be very interesting. If you haven't watched the Xfinity series here or anything, that could be a very interesting corner here. This pace car is getting ready to get off the racetrack here. They make a hard right-hand turn. And off of turn number 12, approaching the start line here. The green flag is out and racing at Portland. Oh, for the most part, we made it through, but it looks like Sawyer gets loose there, exiting turn 1. He's around the 29 machines around. There was contact made between him and the 24. Sorry, the 05. It's not the 24, the 05 machine. Through turn 1, things did get stacked up, so this back half of the field's going to be further back than they probably wanted to be. As we'll go back out front here. Everyone's making it through these first couple corners with ease. Millet did be able to pull away here from Drapeau a tiny bit. Showed some pretty good speed in practice. We do have custom built stuff, so there could potentially been a situation where we have qualifying laps there, they had the opportunity to run the Q set and then practice speed. So I willing to bet most of the speeds we saw at the top practice were potentially done with the qualifying set here. So we'll have to see total race pace from most of these drivers here, as Millet's able to make it through 1 and 2 just fine. Ray right now are still sitting in 3rd, and as it's again just single filed out through most of the field here. Truly, that's just it. That little, kerfuffle we had there on the first turn essentially did spread out these guys a lot throughout the field here. And it looks like we have more trouble back there. That might be the 29 machine. He had to slow down. He looked like he missed the chicane there in turn 1. But he is back going here. It's Coley and Quick right now. We're kind of thankful for some of these guys who had those issues in turn number 1. They were able to essentially take advantage of that and potentially gain a couple spots there because of that. Millet's pulled out to about a 2nd lead here. Again, this first stage is going to go by quick. We'll have our first scripted caution of the race. We're going to call it scripted because it is technically scripted. Everyone knows when it's going to happen on lap number 10. The rest of these cautions we're going to see tonight are going to be at the will of whatever happens on the racetrack. So essentially, these guys here are probably going to run as fast as they can here, get through stage number 1, come down pit road, and put on a set of tires. They do have 3 sets of tires for this race, so I'm going to guess they're going to take tires here, and then maybe with their last stop, I'm going to guess somewhere around lap 30. Can potentially see some guys take tires there, and it looked like Drapeau was able to maybe pull in a little bit there, but gap to the race lead has increased. As things are starting to tighten up here around the bow for 4th. Chris Gale's currently in front of the number 25 machine of Brandon Kluser, who's here. Brandon was looking pretty fast here. I knew he ran the race set for most of practice, so his lap times were pretty decent with the race set. So we'll see what he can do here. As Chris Gale does look like he can make contact there with the outside wall coming off of turn number 12. As 3 laps are completed, 7 to go in stage 1. Kluser, who's looking on the inside there for a brief second here in turn 1. Gale looked like he had to back up exit of 1 just a tiny bit there. Checked up Kluserhoos. And now Kluserhoos has Brandon Pamitat over his back bumper going through, I'm just going to call this the carousel section. This is like a sweeping right-hander. So we'll see going into another left, and there's more smoke back there. Don't know if it was just from tire lockup or what, but there was smoke back in turn number 1. Again, Millet has pulled off to about a 1.3 second lead, 1.2. And we'll some flashes there. Accidentally bumped the cord on my mic. And that's not good. So then it causes me stutters here on the iRacing. We're on lap number 5 of the stage here. Getting pretty just decent out front here. Still about a 1.1 second lead. And then it's about 4.5 back to third between 87, 9, 25, and 92. Again, I wouldn't count out that 92 machine. We saw him have amazing speed when we did our so far first and only, I don't know if there's been future talks of this, of the GT3 series. He was competitor every single week we saw there, and he's pretty decent on road courses. So we'll see if we can potentially get some sort of track position here tonight and be in contention when this is all said and done. But through the S's here, this is again looking at Chris Gill. He's currently back and forth, as this is in reality our closest battle on the racetrack. Pamitat's closing, I know it's about a half second back to him as well. He's closing in, and look there, but here comes Carbonell. He's actually closing in on Pamitat. Carbonell will look like he drove it in there a little bit deeper. Looks like Gill is just backing up. I'm going to call it turn 2. Might be incorrect in the actual terms of this racetrack there. So he's backing it up a little bit, and that's just... Oh, he's actually off the track there. He's going to lose a bunch of spots trying to get back on the racetrack. He's going to fall back into 8th, 9th place, and that should be all the spots he loses for now. I know he put a lot of practice in for tonight, so he's probably sitting there a little bit frustrated with himself for that off-tracks excursion for him. So that moves Brandon Pamitat up to 5th, Kluserhuis up to 4th, Rittenauer up to... No, Rittenauer was in 3rd. Still about 5.6 seconds off of Drapeau, 6.9 off the race leader. Truly not missing anything here. You're truly also missing delta to the leader here for most of the field. Who would have thunk that a 1.9 mile racetrack would do this? I guess 29 cars is a little bit too much. I mean, the next gen cars are a little bit beefier when it comes to things on iRacing in the CPU wise, so I'm not truly surprised. And this track does seem like it does have a lot more to it, so there is that, as Pamitat's all over the back bumper of Brandon Kluster, who's here. Again, this is a battle for 4th. Closest thing I can truly tell here on the racetrack. Again, everything else is about a half second, maybe more gap. And 4th, 5th, and 6th here, really truly the closest thing here on the racetrack. Drapeau looks like he's cutting in a little bit here on the race lead to Millet, as we have 6 laps coming to complete lap number 7. Again, for being such a short road course, lap traffic is going to be a factor here. So if we go back out to the race leader, I just see here, you can see there the 12 machine, Zach Kreiser, is going to be in risk of being put a lap down here any second now. And pit road should be closing next time by. Pit road will close next time by. I read bottom left hand corner, but we've only completed 7. But here goes Miller around Kreiser. He got that blue flag in his top left hand corner. He's going to go ahead and recognize it and just go ahead and fortunately lose that lap. But things are starting to widen out a little bit here. The bow for 4th. Again, it's going to be really tough to pass, I think. So we should see here track position to be the name of the game. So I think a lot of people are going to take this opportunity to pit here at the end of the stage. I don't see there's any scenario, especially with that extra pace lap, if anyone trying to stay out, trying to gain some sort of track advantage. I don't think so. it is in the cards. You can do it, as Seth Payman's having a real rough go of it there. You can see he's on inside there over by pit entry. And it looks like the 35 machine's also on pit road here. Got down pit road, I think, before pit road closed. But pit road should be closed. Actually, pit road's closing next time by. No, this time. Yep, we're on complete 8. We're on 9. Pit road should be closed. No one else should have the opportunity to go down pit road here. Storm Patterson has made up some spots from his starting position. He's up to 11th. Fortunately, he's 6.5 behind Kevin Hash, so unless something happened to anyone in the top 10, he's going to be on the fringe of receiving stage points here in stage number 1. Still Zach Millett out front. He's increased that lead by over over a second than the last time we looked into it. It's now a 2.2 second lead over Eric Drapeau. Not real sure what happened between those two. And again, Paymatet's really here on the back bumper here of the 25 machine. They're starting to reel in the 87 a little bit here. These guys were about 0.2 of a second quicker over the 87 machine. We're going to come and complete lap number 9. We're on the last lap of stage number 1. Getting lap traffic is going to be interesting for the race leader here tonight, as Millett's now currently behind the 18 machine of Roy Grande. But it looks like the 18 is going to go ahead and give way and let him go. As that gap to Paymatet's actually increased here. It looks like they might be dealing with some more lap traffic as the 35 machine comes off of pit road. Millett has led every single lap so far, qualifying the pole. We'll come down. I'm going to call this the back straightaway. This is one of the longer points on the racetrack here, and gets ready to go into the last couple corners here on this racetrack. I guess it's 9 into 10. S is here. Through 11. And off of turn number 12. Millett will come down the front straightaway here. Caution will be thrown a little bit early here, but Zach Millett will win stage number 1. Followed by Eric Drapeau, Ray Rittenauer, Brandon Kluserhus, Brandon Paymatet, Luke Carbonneau, Kevin West, Daniel Wiles, and Christopher Gale. That's how I have it on my screen. I don't think that's any different, as everything's gonna get all wishy-washy here. So that is stage number 1. Again, this is our only scheduled caution of the night. So unless Kevin Hash is showing 10th, I'll get the official finishing results here shortly, so we can get you the truly. But looks to be Millett, Drapeau, Rittenauer, Klusterhus, Paymatet, Carbonneau, West, Wiles, Gale, Hash, according to timing and scoring at this moment in time. And that is my confirmation. So there we go. And I'm going to go quickly update this real quick so we can try to have some sort of points for you here tonight. Extra Pope. Here's that. We'll let these guys make their pit stops, and then we'll pull up stage 1 winner Zach Millett into the booth. Unless he doesn't pit. If he doesn't pit, then we'll pull him up into the booth. Again, I think everyone's going to pit here, get that 10 extra laps of fuel, and then essentially potentially split that last portion of the race in half. Probably pit a lap like 25. Might be something that go further, but it actually looks like Carbonneau is going to stay out on the... Actually, no, it's going to be a split decision here. See the 92 coming down... Sorry, 97 is coming down pit road. It's 87-25. It's a split decision here. I mean, you can. Again, this is based off of fuel numbers I'm kind of given here. You can make it to the end of stage 2 on lap number 20 on fuel. It's just going to be one of those situations. How much further can you go? Can you make another lap around? So some of these guys might be thinking here, we're gonna take potential stage points because we didn't see much for passing in stage 1. So kind of might be a smart move for some of these guys, but we'll go ahead and pull up into the broadcast booth while we have the time to. Make sure Discord's not muted here. The number 31 machine of Zach Millett.
Hey, what's up, man?
Looks like you have a pretty fast number 31 Team Conti Sim Performance Chevrolet out there, man.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty solid. The TCSP Chevrolet it seems like it's on all fours tonight. It's doing pretty good. This track is awesome, dude. I'm so happy they put this on the schedule. I've never raced here before, and in these cars, man, it's a blast.
So I see that you and most of your America Racing teammates here are choosing to stay out underneath this caution. Is this trying just to accumulate as much stage points here? Because, passing is going to be tough, or where is it?
Yeah, we're thinking, it's only going to be a short run to the next stage, and it's a flying stage at that. So nobody can make it from here to the finish. So we're thinking we might as well stay out, make the best of the stage points, and then, pit, take whatever you need, and get back out. And I think it's the safest play.
Well, I think so too. Well, congratulations on winning stage number 1. Pretty good chance we'll probably be talking to you at the end of stage number 2.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Well, actually, probably we'll see, because there's no stage caution at the end of stage 2, so we'll see how that goes. See if you're in any potential battles if you're still a leader.
We'll hope for the best, at least.
That we will. As that was our stage 1 winner, the number 31 machine of Zach Millett. And so lights should be going off in the iRacing.com pace car. Some guys were faking out that they were in pit there. Pit road's closed for those guys. The guys who are pitting now are guys who are not on the lead lap. So looking at this restart, it's Millett, Carbonneau, West, Wiles, Tucker, Reese, Rittenauer, Japot, Klusterhuis, and Pamitat. Your top 10. First guys who came onto pit road here will be 8th, 9th, and 10th on back. Those guys came down pit road for fuel and tires. Looks like we're actually 7th on back. Rittenauer came down pit road, spent about 6.3 seconds in his pit box. I guess was a fuel only, maybe 2 tires stop for him. So kind of what I thought here. Some sort of strategy calls to be made here. Could be a slight tire disadvantage. This is a pretty flat road course, not much banking to it. So we'll see here. We'll see what Drapeau, Klusterhuis, Pamitat, and those guys further back can do here with your top 6 here. Top 7. Again, it looks like right now maybe only took 2. Maybe just fuel only. So we'll see what he can do here. But 12 laps are completed. 28 to go. 8 to go in the stage. Again, we are scheduled 0 cautions from here on out. So no more stage cautions from here on out. So we should see what happens. To come down the back straightaway. The last time before we get the stage restart. Again, it looks like we have 5 cars a lap down. Grande, Heyman, Kreiser, Wortman, Sawyer, Ott. Okay, I'm trying just to, take a look at things here. From timing and scoring, 2 cars don't show to be on the racetrack, but I'm pretty sure they're still on the racetrack, so there is that. But the iRacing.com, hopefully the last time we see them tonight, we'll pull down the pit road here. As we'll go a very, very long distance to get to the start-finish line, and Barney the flagman As the green flag is out for stage number 2. We saw Calamity here in turn 1 last time. As there's Calamity going back there, the 15 machine looked like he got contact made with him, able to keep it straight. Some guys off course here. But looks like just a little bit of Calamity we saw there with the 15 machine. Don't know if it was a shifting issue or whatnot, but it looked like he almost went around. I'm trying to take a look at things here. Top 5 have maintained spot. Reese is the only one who's lost positions out of that. But he's currently back to 12th. So the battle is on to see if these guys with tires can get up and potentially make any sort of passes here. As West is challenging Carbonneau for second. This will be the first battle we actually seen for anyone in the top 5 tonight. Carbonneau is going to try to maintain the inside lane here. He's going to actually go around, as it looks like he was trying to just defend second place here as long as he could. Hit the brakes, hit the rumble strips, and around he went. Unfortunate for the number 92 machine, as he's just going to drop like a rock back to 16th. He was able to get back going. So that moves the guys with tires up another spot. Carbonneau is going to actually challenge 3 wide off of 3 here. Yeah, I'm calling this turn 3. I don't really know if that's the actual corner here. It actually gives a lot of advantage to Millet here. He's over 2.8 over West, as America Racing has the top 4 spots on the racetrack. As Drapeau was challenging the 25 machine there, he was looking inside, had to lock it up. He's now going to be challenged by his teammate Storm Patterson here. This is a battle for 7th. Patterson, unfortunately, is giving up a couple spots. Not really sure why there. I know he was having some technical issues earlier. Don't know if the technical issue was the cause for that there, but he's going to drop back to 9th. Now going to be challenged by the 9 machine of Gale, as the battle for 5th is heating up here. Brandon Kluster, I think, has preferred line entering turn number 1. He has inside here. He's going to get by the 87 for sure, as Drapeau is going to try to make a challenging pass here on the outside. Fortunately, that's not going to work, as now Drapeau is going to be challenged by look to be number 48 machine there. But things are going to have to settle back into line. So Brandon Kluster, who's getting the first guy off pit road with tires, is now in the highest spot here. So he's going to be the highest spot here once these guys are going to have to pit here. Again, I'm not real sure how long these guys can go on fuel. Given some sort of estimates here, maybe 21-ish laps. Not real sure. But in terms of tire fall off, it's not there. Millet's still running 13.9s. I mean, he's been pretty fast. So it just doesn't look like tire fall off's there. I mean, he ran about 7/10 of a second slower. Sorry, 7/100 of a second slower than his fastest lap of the race. So it's something some of these guys might need to note here, that if you aren't truly pushing it, tire fall off's not there. So maybe on this next stop here for some of these guys in a few laps, don't take tires. Just stick it out there. Again, things are how they were essentially before the stage caution. I mean, truly, again, this is looking to be our closest battle on the racetrack. I mean, got a couple cars within 3/10 here, but I'm guessing that's due to braking going into the corners. But what we see here and what we saw maybe back for 9th between Gale and Patterson are your 2 real closest battles on the racetrack. I truly think the 87 machine is slowing down the 97.48. Again, basing just off his pit time here, maybe just took gas only, and here he comes down pit road, 23 laps to go. So he might have realized fuel only call might have been good for some sort of stage strategy, but based on lap times, it was not truly fast enough. I don't think he would have maintained well over that fuel run he had, but he's going to come down pit road. So now I guess the battle on the racetrack, I mean, Cherry's being challenged by the 05 machine of Winkelspec. This is a battle for 13th on the racetrack. I know, talking pre-race with Cherry, his goal is just to keep the car on the racetrack. Running 13th is doing a pretty decent job of that. Unfortunately, running some 5 seconds off of what the race leader Millet's doing, but Millet has the cleanest air on the racetrack, so there is that. But Klusterhuis is closing in some of these guys who stayed out at the stage caution. He is starting to reel in the 88 machine, but he's also being reeled in by the 97 machine. So, again, I feel like it's going to come down. It's surely going to be tough, right? Because, again, Millet's only running 0.4 of a second slower than what he ran his fastest lap on. And he is on 19 lap older tires. Because we got 2 to go on the stage. Klusterhuis is running 0.3 slower, but who knows if he's truly pushing it. Maybe he's trying to save a little bit of tire to potentially come in and just take gas only on his last pit stop. Again, I'm gonna expect that these guys might just split this last 30. Oh, ground goes to 25 machine. No! And that's pretty decent contact with the tire barrier there. That I think that might have just been potential impatience there on Drapeau. That's the wrong camera. I want to go to the chopper camera. And we'll rewind this real quick. And I think we have to go a little bit further back. Yeah, I think 97 was expecting 25 to break where he did and just sent it a little bit deeper in. Unfortunately, that takes Klusterhuis out. Now leaves Drapeau challenging Wiles for 4th. Klusterhuis, I mean, there is left front damage on that 25 machine. We'll have to see on this lap time he runs here. I don't see any sort of meatball flag on my iRacing control to potentially say anything's truly wrong with it. But I'm willing to bet that he's heated in that machine. As Millet will come off of turn 12 here. This was, again, really quick stage here. And complete lap number 20. And that will be stage number 2. 20 completed, 20 to go. Millet, West, Tucker, Wiles, Drapeau, Pamitat, Patterson, Klusterhuis, Hash, Carbonell. I'm reading this right. 20 completed, 20 remaining. So that would be, we would have a stage caution there if we needed one, but we didn't do that here tonight for a road course race. Won't see that most of the season. So Millet 2 for 2 on stages tonight, and has an 8.3 second lead over Kevin West. And now the question becomes, how much longer can these guys go on fuel? As Wiles got passed by both Pamitat and Drapeau here, he'll fall back to 5th. So yeah, Klusterhuis, there might be some suspension damage, might be a little bit of a bent wheel there. He ran a 116.6. his last lap, that's over almost 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race. So he potentially might have some sort of left front damage there to the tire. Unfortunately, that, again, I feel like he was in one of the better positions here, him and Drapeau, for competing with these guys who chose to stay out and try to take advantage of stage points. We're gonna wait for an update there, trying to get that updated for you. Trying to get you most accurate points we can. As Milt's gonna have to deal with some carnage here. That looks to be the 59 machine of Raudenbusch. He had another lap car within the frame there, looked like. As Milt's gonna have to deal with some lap traffic here, as he's completed 21 laps here on fuel. Again, this is the number I was kind of told. Okay, I don't know if this was just them not running any sort of laps here. This was like a full tank before any sort of fuel data was calculated. So we shall see. I mean, these guys did have an extra pace lap in those couple laps there underneath caution to save any sort of fuel as the 18 machine goes around right in front of race leader. He was able to keep that car straight and not hit anything there. Chapeau is closing in on the 21 machine and Dalton Tucker. It's a battle for third. It's going to heat up here. As another car goes off track there, that happens to be the second place car, Kevin West. He'll go off track. He'll lose 2, maybe 3 spots here, as he'll get right in front of Hamatag here through this sweeping right-hander. Hamatag's going to try to cross him over here, but unfortunately it's not going to be able to do anything with it, as there was a car off track there. Potentially the 18 machine looked like he towed it onto pit road. As 18 laps are remaining, and again, I essentially believe the fuel window is open for everybody. Anyone who wants to come down pit road. As 21 machine gets over the curbing there, he's going to go around, and he's going to lose a decent amount of spots here. And this potentially might be a course cutting penalty. And he's going to do a smart thing here. He's going to bring down pit road, make a mistake, comes right down pit road. So that's a smart move by him to come down pit road. As Carbonell has rebounded, he's up to 9th. You see him go by here. He'll actually overtake for 8th. And is now looking at things, Brian Kluster running 15.5s. It's about 7/10 of a second off his fastest lap. I mean, we see Mill at race leader. He's still running about 0.6 of a second off his fastest lap on 24 lap-old tires. So, any of you guys out there watching the broadcast, doesn't look like tire wear's that bad. All right, just gonna say it. Tire wear doesn't look that bad. I mean, tires might be a smart move to take. I wouldn't question it there, but it doesn't look like tires make a key factor here. So, as we don't see Millet come down pit road, we do see a couple cars down pit road. 81's down pit road, 29 still on pit road. I'm gonna guess he might have potentially called it a night. And we've got the confirmation of your stage results. Sorry about that. Millet, West, Tucker, Wiles, Drapeau, Pamitat, Patterson, Klusterhuis, Hash, Carbonell. That was your results here as the 51 machine goes around here. This is in front of race leader, currently trying to put the 4 machine a lap down. Gonna get timing and scoring corrected here. As Kevin West, he came down pit road here. So taking a look at Tucker, he came down pit road, spent 6.3, looked like fuel only. So he's going to try to run this whole race on one set of tires. And he came out 10th. Millet with a 14-second lead. I mean, West spent about 32.2, Tucker spent 32.6 on pit road. So he might come out in 5th when everything's all said and done on his pit stop. based on everything, average pit stop times, everything, he might come out 5th. We're going to kind of just base this off of time on pit road we see here. I mean, guys who've already pitted, Rittenauer, he pitted, he spent 30.4 on pit road. Here comes Wiles, he will actually be interesting. Now we'll see how much time he spends on pit road. And I mean, if I'm Millet, I just take fuel only. The fact that he running 25 and now you're on 26 of a fuel run. Very, very interesting. Just updating stage points real quick. Trying to again get you the most accurate points we can get you here at the end of this race. As we are following race leader Millet, he is on pit road. So we should see Drapeau drive by here shortly. As there comes Drapeau and Pamitat. There goes Drapeau. So we'll see here, we'll see if any of these tires go up on this machine. Doesn't look like he just took gas only. He also has a benefit. I don't know. We'll see here. 34.7. So, I mean, a little bit longer than his teammates spent on pit road. Again, he also had to make the longer drive down pit road. So there is that. There's Eric Drapeau as your race leader. 14 laps to go, so Millet comfortably ran through 26 laps. So I don't know, this is gonna be tough for some of these guys who've paid underneath that caution, right? It looks like fuel only is a smart move here. So here comes the 48 machine down pit road. Show you real quick. He qualified 7th, so he does have a decent way to go down pit road. And I just feel like this is going to fall into Millet's hands unless something truly happens here. He's going to get by. He drove by Pamitat here, so he's back up to 3rd. And here goes Pamitat. He's spent 3.9 his pit box. The only benefit is they're going to take less fuel. Millet had to take 8.6 seconds worth of fuel. Potentially could have thrown 2 tires on that machine there. I don't know how well that would have worked. I know cold tires here were very detrimental to some guys. I know a lot of guys in practice had a lot of issues just getting out on the outlap there on tires. So we shall see. So Pamitats came down pit road. He comes back out in 6th place. He's in front of Rittenauer. Rittenauer's already made his pit stop. 13 laps to go. He should be good to go to the end. Tucker, he's already made his pit stop. Wiles already made his pit stop. Millet has made his. The question again comes down to when do these guys like Kluster, Drapeau, Hash, Gale, when do they come down pit road? Again, we saw Millet comfortably run 26 laps. Stage caution came out and they paid with 29 to go. I don't think you can save 3 laps of fuel on a road course. I mean, the only guy potentially could. I mean, he's running again almost 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race is Brandon Klusterhuis. I mean, that damage could play benefit to him to potentially getting a pretty decent finish. He might want to potentially think about staying as long as he can. Could be enough damage to have required repair on that machine. I just don't think saving fuel's out of the window here. And essentially, I would just come in now like Pamitat did and get that fuel. I mean, you don't, in reality, from when you pay and whatnot, you only need about 3 laps worth of fuel. So you probably only need 3.4, 4.5, somewhere in that range of fuel to, I mean, that might be overkill to make it to the end of the race. So it's a lot of unknowns on when these guys are going to pit. And it's going to update this real quick for you. Get the correct points in for you. So that's updated. So when this race is over, we can have everything correct for you. Okay, you're not missing anything out front. Drapeau's still your race leader. He's got 15.5 seconds over Millet. Unfortunately, he has to come down pit road, I believe. I mean, he does have that buffer. He does have that time he could potentially attempt to try to save a little bit of fuel. I just don't think it's possible. I just don't know. It's like we're talking about 3 laps worth of fuel. And that's a lot in the terms of road course racing. And I mean, Drapeau, he's only running 0.4 of a second slower than his fastest lap. Again, I feel like the guy who's in most beneficial spot would be Brandon Klusterhuis. That damage is slowing him down enough to we're not under caution, by the way. Don't ignore the yellow box down there. To potentially save tiny amounts of fuel. And he's not really being pushed by Kevin Hash in 4th. Hash is still back there. He might be in the same boat. Just go ahead and follow Klusterhuis as long as you can and see if that gives you any sort of advantage. And I mean, most of these guys out here on the racetrack, Carbonneau, he came down for his pit stop. Patterson came down for his pit stop. I mean, most of your guys here in the top 5 who haven't pitted, all right, you're just hurting yourself at this point, staying out. And I feel like Drapeau, 30-some seconds, we'll compare it to him at 29.7. So 29.7 would put him right back here, 5th and 6th. But these guys still have to pit. So he'd be finishing about 3rd right now. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Probably extremely confusing for these guys. Again, you're truly not missing anything. A lot of these guys have pitted. I mean, Quick hasn't pitted yet, but he's 57 seconds behind the race leader. Carabina hasn't pitted yet. Reeves, he came down at some point, as it looks like Eric Drapeau is on pit road. So we shall see where he comes out in correlation. Yeah, right where I thought he would come out pit road. Right behind Klusterhuis, right behind Hash. As that gives Miller about a 9-second lead here. With 8 to go. So there is that. So Drapeau right now. Ooh, this is trouble. Okay, he backs off the racetrack. All right. Whew, that was trouble there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 15 machine went around, and that was in a very, very interesting spot, but he was able to back it off the race course and get it back going. He will be the next car lap done back in 18th. As Hatch gets passed by Drapeau. And now we're going to talk in terms of Brandon Clousser, who's here. He's 10 seconds behind the race leader, 29 seconds at the minimum here on pit road. Again, Drapeau spent 29.5, 29.7. That would put him 40-ish seconds back. That would put him back in. I'm going to move everyone up 2 spots. About 9th, 10th place. Somewhere in there. Oh. So round goes the number 97 machine. And that's off the front bumper of the 25. Oh. All right. There was contact earlier. So we do need to remember that. So going back here. I mean, Clousser does have damage. Does slow up way early. Ow. That's not a good look. That, unfortunately, is not a good look. And, yeah. That was... I'm willing to bet that was payback for earlier. I am 100% willing to bet that was payback from what Drapeau did earlier. And we have kind of like a zero tolerance for that in the league, and potential 25 might be on a bye week next week. So not a good look. Could also be a points paying penalty too. Not a good look. There's only 6 laps to go. Again, Clousser, and Gale still, if I have to guess, still have to pit. I'm gonna have to guess it has to be in the next couple laps. I mean, they with that situation back in turn 1 a lap ago, that's gonna put them even further back. So Clousser is defending third over Pamitat here, and this is allowing Rittenauer to come into the window here. And they're gonna come down pit road 5 laps ago, and about 30 some seconds is the time they should be spending on pit road here. As Drapeau is also coming down pit road. I'm gonna guess he got a penalty of sort, and he needs to serve it. So rough nights for a couple of these guys here. Strategy just didn't work out for them, and so it doesn't look like it was any sort of required repair, and they're gonna come out right behind Carbonneau. So Clousser's gonna come out 10th. Gale comes out 8th, and Drapeau, I think, is serving a penalty here, and that moves Pamitat up to 2nd. Again, 20 some seconds behind race leader Zach Millett. So there is that. So that battle for second is pretty close here. I mean, a lot of spread out racing on the racetrack. I mean, this is from what I heard, is a tough track to pass, and it's shown it here tonight. And it's 36 completed, 4 to go. There's a couple more guys coming off pit road. That looks to be 97 coming back off pit road there. He's going to try to stay to the inside there. Unfortunately, he lost the lap and had a pretty decent night going for him. Contact earlier in the race of the 25 machine sent him around, and I'm willing to bet that just pissed off the 25 machine. just gave it right back. And we'll see in the post race reports what potentially is the outcome of this. And it's a good night gone bad for both drivers' involvement. Millet's going to come off of turn 12 here and see 3 laps to go. And I mean, truly, he's just in a space of his own. I mean, he has lap traffic approaching here. He has the Ford machine approaching. Put him another lap down. He's in 20th place. That's truly the only car here. I mean, he has a couple more up there. Like, he's in his own zip code. Pretty dominant car tonight. And something we need to kind of look out for when we do go to other road courses here later on in the season. We go to the Chicago Street Course. That's, I want to say that might be the penultimate race in the regular season. Might be the third final race in the regular season. And then we go to Watkins Glen, I believe, in the first round of the playoffs. So that is something we needed to keep in mind for when the playoffs do come about. And his battle for second is still pretty close here. It's about 0.6 of a second. The distance. So there is that. I mean, Winkelspecht is closing in. Oh, it looked like Storm Patterson has some issues there. Winkelspecht also has some issues there through turn number 1. Storm Patterson does have a slowdown penalty, so he needs to serve that. Otherwise, it might turn into a situation he might lose 11th because of it. Nope, it looks like it was taken care of, so there is that. He was able to take care of that black flag. 2 to go. Truly not much to talk about in actual battles on the racetrack. Millet's still ahead by 20.7 seconds. And I mean, it's just been a good old-fashioned ass whooping. It's nothing truly to, no other way to truly call it here. As he comes through the S's for the penultimate time. Gets through 11 and 12. And we'll come to the start-finish line to Barney the Flagman with the white flag in his hand. And 1 lap to go, sponsored by nobody. As long as he does not mess up these 12 corners severely, he eases his way into his 3rd win of the season. He's going to continue to grow on that points lead he had over his teammate West. It was a very sizable points lead coming in, and that should continue to increase. Won both stages tonight. We'll probably clinch the fastest lap of the race with a 1:13.9. We'll get a bonus point for having the pole. It's almost a max points night, all right? We'll say that. It's almost a max point night for him. Don't know anything in terms of incident points for him. Car looks clean. As I come down the back straightaway for the last time. And through the S's. Again, this is almost 21 seconds in front of second place. And off of turn number 12 for the final time tonight, Zach Millet will win his 3rd race of the season. As for second place, Rittenauer is going to get close through 11 and 12. But unfortunately, won't have enough for Pamitat. Baron Pamitat will come home 2nd. Ray Rittenauer will come home 3rd. Dalton Tucker, he will finish tonight's race in 4th. As Wiles comes down the front straightaway here, had some sort of challenge from his teammate a little bit earlier on in the lap, but he'll secure 5th. Kevin West will finish 6th. Kevin Hash, he'll finish 7th. Chris Gale will come home 8th. Luke Carbonneau, great finish for him tonight, finished 9th. And Brian Kluserhoos will come home 10th. As that was the Ott Family Farms 170 from Portland. We'll let Millet get to the start-finish line, do his thing here, do a little bit of a burnout, do whatever he needs to do. And we will, or not. Why did it bring me to Seth Heyman? I want to watch the 31 machine do his thing here. Are we live? We are. Why? All right, there we go. We'll watch him burn it down. There we go. Maybe we'll close out of iRacing Control. Maybe that'll help. As we'll go ahead and here, enough time has passed. We'll pull him up into the booth. And for the 3rd time as race winner of the season, Zach Millet.
Good to be here, man. Good to be here.
You almost had 4 in a row, man. You know, strategy didn't work out for you last week, but strategy worked out for you this week.
Yeah, and it felt like a good race last week, too. I mean, it obviously wasn't a win, but it felt like one. It was, it's been a pretty good start to the season. I'm pumped.
That it is. You earned yourself at least 2 playoff points from the stage win, another 5 from the race win. You're just rolling in those playoff points like Truex did back in 2017, man.
Hell yeah, man. I'll take every one I can get. It just makes it easier once you get to that all-important playoff time.
That it does. Pretty uneventful race there. I mean, you did have a couple moments there. Couple cars getting loose right in front of you there, lap traffic, but it looked like lap traffic was giving you all the space you needed tonight, and pretty dominant. I'm trying to remember here. TCSP number 31 machine.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the strategy we had at the first stage, it kind of worked out. It just kind of kept us ahead of the chaos. You know, we didn't know if there was going to be a big accident at the beginning of the second stage, and I don't know, it just it kind of worked. I think it was a good night for the whole America team. So, hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah, indeed. Before we go ahead and let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before a quick thank you before we let you go down there and celebrate with your rest of your teammates?
Hell yeah, big thank you to you, Alex, for the broadcast. ITRL, Iron Thunder Racing League. It's been a pleasure to race over here. A lot of really fast guys. Shout out to Eric tonight. He had a hell of a good pace. I hate that he got wrecked out there towards the end. It was going to be a pretty damn good race there at the finish. If we were side by side, it would have been fun. Team Conti Sim Performance, of course. America Racing, all the guys. All the admins in this league that make this possible. They do a lot of work behind the scenes for us just to come out here and have fun. EMR Paintball, of course. Bowie Esports, and that S4 guy on Twitch. We finally got the win while streaming, so we finally got that done.
You said last week was the last time you were gonna do that.
I know. I was puckered up when I hit the start stream button tonight, but we made it.
It worked out for you tonight. Well, congratulations on getting your 3rd win and extending your points lead, and we'll see you next week for New Hampshire.
Hell yeah, man. Can't wait.
As that was race winner tonight in the number 31 machine of Zach Millet. We get to pull up for the first time since his dual win, number 48 machine of Brandon Pamitat. As I probably was interrupting something he was doing there, but hello.
Hello.
You finished 2nd tonight.
I did. I'm proud. That was a handful. The guy Millet just runs away with everything, it seems like.
Yeah, I was really surprised there. He ran that whole entire race on one set of tires.
It was definitely possible. I felt like on the second part of the run to where, everyone started the second pit, whenever I came out of the pits, the tires held up pretty good around 98% of the track. There was like one turn to where they felt a little loose, but otherwise they felt pretty gripped up. So definitely makes a lot of sense on why he was able to do that. And he probably saved because he's road course ringer apparently and oval ringer, but yeah, he definitely probably saved his tires way better than the rest of the field, and definitely had pace like that. He just gave us a kicked our asses essentially.
I mean, you come home with a solid P2. This should really help you in terms of points. I know you missed Daytona, if I was right. Remember right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we missed Daytona. We had some stuff going on. Hauler broke down on I-95. And then, last week, I forget where we were, but got damage on the car early and couldn't ever recover from it and ended up crashing out of stage 2 by ourselves. So it really felt good to finally get some points back and get ready for the playoffs. We have New Hampshire next week, so it's going to be a battle just with the field, but should be good.
Should be good. Should be interesting. Should be exciting. Well, congratulations on your P2. I know you have some people you probably like to give a quick shout out to, quick thank you for, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to just give a shout out to the PPR racing team. Eric got destroyed tonight, but that's besides the point. But PPR racing, definitely Splash and Go graphics for the paint scheme. ITRL, you guys with the broadcast. And that's all I got.
Real quick, who made your paint scheme at Splash and Go?
Osman, the GOAT.
That's glad to hear. Well, congratulations on your PT finish tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at New Hampshire.
Sounds good.
As that was second place finisher Brandon Hamatat, and that just leaves the number 87 machine of Ray Rittenauer.
Hello.
Hello! You finished P3 tonight.
Hell yeah.
Just walk me through your race. How'd you do it?
I don't know how I didn't get any incidents.
You finished with a 0x?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, I just kind of stayed at about a 115 pace and tried to stay away from everybody. I pitted early. I gave up stage points for stage 2, so that was a little brain fart there. But I think it ended up paying off at the end because I wasn't in quite as much traffic as everybody else. I got to run a little bit faster there, and I hopped a few people.
That you did. Really don't know you for road course racing. Usually you're the king when it comes to super speedway, so it's kind of in my eyes a bit of a surprise seeing you finishing P3 here tonight. But great run for that number 87 Lucky Dogs Chevrolet.
Thank you. I'm not too bad at road courses when I can put a race together. Usually I screw it up somehow.
You didn't screw it up tonight. Solid finish. Before we go ahead and let you go, celebrate that 0x. Is there anyone like to give a shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, my sponsor, Lucky Dogs. All my teammates over at Sip and Shine. Sawyer, Dylan, all that he does in the league. You guys for putting on an awesome broadcast.
Congratulations. And one quick question. So I've had this question, I just never asked. What is Lucky Dogs?
Lucky Dogs is a doggy daycare center over where I live. My buddy owns it. So it's an actual sponsor.
Hell yeah.
Paid too. He paid me $1.
That $1 is important. Those add up.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, that's what that is.
All right. Now I know. I'll keep it in the mind. Every time I see that paint scheme, I'll be like, that's an actual sponsor. That's an actual place. People in your area can go and drop their dogs off and get excellent care when they're at work and whatnot. So again, congratulations on your P3 finish, and we'll look forward to you racing next week at New Hampshire.
All right. Thank you.
as that was P3 finish tonight. Number 87 machine of Ray Rittenauer. I should be able to show you numerous things here. We'll first start off by showing you your results from the night. Again, it was Zach Millett, Brandon Pimentet, Ray Rittenauer, your top 3. Dalton Tucker and Daniel Wise rounds out your top 5. We'll see the two Kevins, Kevin West and Kevin Hash, finishing 6th and 7th. Chris Gale comes from 8th. Luke Carbonell rebounds from his little bit of a mishap earlier, finished 9th. And running at your top 10s at 25 machine of Brandon Klusterhuis. 11th will be Storm Patterson. 12th will be Eric Winkelspecht. 13th on back will be Laps Down. We will see Caleb Rice in 13th. 14th will be Josh Coley. 15th will be Eric Trapeau. 16th will be Matt Quick. 17th will be Matthew Carabina. 18th, Treston Knott. 19th, Ryan Muniz. And 20th will be Nate Shiflett. 21st will be Ryan Wortman. 22nd will be Sawyer Ott. 23rd will be Matt Cherry. 24th will be Sam Green. 25th, Jason Ryan Bush. 26th, Matthew Klusterhuis. 27th, Roy Grande. 28th, Zach Kraser. And 29th, Seth Heyman. Dylan Hale technically get credited with a 30th place finish. So if I did this right, here should be your points. As close to accurate as going into next week. Again, Millett was able to gain on his points lead here. He's going to have about a 57-point lead going into next week over Kevin West. Brandon Klusterhuis is right now tied for 3rd. Again, that's potentially pending anything from his mishap on the racetrack. It all depends. Whatever happens there, could be a points penalty, could not be. Who knows? Nothing gets announced until after the fact. Then you'll see Wiles in 5th, Kevin Hash 6th. Rittenauer will be 7th, Patterson 8th, Trapeau 9th, and Surratt in 10th. Really a rough night for him. Still maintains that top 10 in points. Going back towards the cut line in 16th here, currently occupied by Matt Quick, has about an 8-point lead over Matt Cherry and Nathan Shiflett. Again, this is unofficial. There could be some sort of miscalculations in my terms of points updating. Way ATVO does it could be a little bit misleading and whatnot. So there could be a point here, point there. So right now it's an 8-point gap between Cherry and Shiflett to Quick in 16th. If there was a tie there, goes to the next highest finish, wins one. It goes to the next highest finish and whatnot there. Caleb Reeves will round out your top 20 there. Pimentet, he did move up some spots, moved up a decent amount, finishing 2nd night, moves him up to 13th. And take a look at the rest of your points again. Some guys are missing on the points graphic, guys who were not here tonight. I do believe, take a look at this here as I have my spreadsheet open. Those guys that weren't here tonight were Brian Rusi, BJ Hash, Jeff Pete. Those are the guys missing on your screen there. And the rest of your points here. Seth Heyman becomes a 36 driver to earn points this season. And a couple of guys you're missing are Chaz Justice, Kevin Freeze, and Rance Llewellyn, and John Mustaine Jr. Will that do it for us here tonight? 40 laps went by pretty quickly. And Portland is a racetrack. That's all I got. We'll be back live same time next week from New Hampshire. I'll get the actual race name for you guys next week. Pinned messages. We go to New Hampshire for the Overton Speed Shop 125 for 125 laps from New Hampshire next week. Should be an exciting one. Could be could be a potential chaotic one. I know last time we did a league race there in the next gen cars, it was a little bit hectic. Like in the terms of official racing and whatnot, New Hampshire is one of those tracks that fall potentially in that hectic category. So could be a fun one next week. Actually, over the next 2 weeks, we go to Martinsville after this. So after New Hampshire, so should be some fun racing going on. Again, that will do it for us. We'll be back live again at 8:55 Eastern, 7:55 Central Time here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network.